Hey there guys, this is day 21 of the Avian Advent Calendar Challenge. Now the Avian Advent Calendar is an advent calendar of parrot toy parts. So every single day I am opening up a brand new box, seeing what toy parts are inside, and coming up with a brand new parrot toy to make. So if that is something you guys are interested in seeing, you want to make sure to stick around because that's going to be coming up right after this. Hey there guys, this is Jack over at Hi Red Bird, where I am tirelessly working to find new ways to make the keeping of exotic animals and pets more exciting, more affordable, and ultimately more enjoyable. Now, part of how I am doing that this season is with the Avian Advent Calendar Challenge. The Avian Advent Calendar was put together by the Leather Elves. They are a well-known parrot toy making company, and if you would like to know more about them, there is a link in the description section down below. But the way this works, every single day I get to open a new box with parrot toy parts inside. I am challenging myself to come up with a brand new toy every single day, and I am taking you guys along for the ride. So there's a couple of goals here. First and foremost, if you got the Advent Calendar and you don't really know what to do with any toy parts, this will help give you an idea to do on those days. Even if you didn't get the Advent Calendar, there's going to be a lot of different parrot toy parts covered in this series. Some of them may be things that you're not that comfortable using. Some of them may be items you have never used. But by watching these videos, you'll get new ideas for how to interact with these items, and you'll increase the available enrichment offerings that you can give your companion parrot. Having more variety in those enrichment offerings is always going to be a better thing to have at your disposal because it just gives you more options. Now, we're also going to be covering a variety of different techniques when it comes to building parrot toys. I have a list of the parrot toy making tools that I am going to be using in the description section down below. Having the right tools for making your parrot toys can make all the difference in the world. It makes it easier, it makes it more fun, and if it's more enjoyable for you, you're going to be more likely to do it, which means your bird is going to get more items of greater variety. So I definitely encourage you guys to check those out. If you have a parrot lover in your life, you might want to think about getting them a gift of some parrot toy making tools or parrot toy making parts for Christmas. That's a great way to show your support for their bird and to make it a little bit easier. Now, the Advent Calendar Challenge series is also going to be covering things like the maintenance of toys, managing the safety of your toys, and also just making sure that you have a goal in mind when it comes to developing your enrichment offerings. If you know what you are trying to encourage, be it physical activity, mental stimulation, foraging, whatever you are wanting to provide, as long as you plan it out, you're going to have a much better chance of success. Now, I do love to hear from you guys, so I have been asking you this entire series, if you guys have a particular bird that you are trying to provide enrichment for, let me know what bird that is in the comment section down below. Knowing what types of birds you guys have makes it easier for me to come up with videos showing you different things. And with that being said, let's jump into the toy we are going to be building today. All right, guys, so for day 21 of the Avian Advent Calendar Challenge, we have some leather squares. Now, of course, we also have the box and the shredded paper. We're not going to use the shredded paper today, but we are going to use the box. Now, one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, since we are getting to the end of this series, you guys are probably running a little bit low on things like the cording that came with your toys. I still have one piece of leather left, and I attached the loop at the end of that because I wanted to make sure that I could get that as close to the end as possible, and I didn't want the pressure of doing that on camera. But if you guys don't have that much left over. One thing you may want to take a look at, some of the previous toys that we have made. If your bird has already destroyed them, if they've taken pieces apart. This one has the birch rounds, which is going to be really, really hard for some birds to take apart. But if you did one with cardboard and it is now gone, you may want to look and see about reusing those leather strips. What you want to do when you check your leather strips, you want to make sure that they are going to be really clean, that there's nowhere where it looks like it's going to fray or break. You want to check to make sure that there is no poop on them. That is something that can happen quite a bit, but leather strips can definitely be used a couple of times. Now for today's toy, we are going to up the difficulty level. Now we have shown how to do a simple shreddable foraging toy. It's really simple and nicely shreddable when it's done with cardboard. If it's done with leather strips, it's obviously a lot more durable. So what I am going to do is I am going to string these onto this piece of leather that I have. And again, if the end is, a little bit blunt, a little hard to get through those openings, you can always cut it. You can cut it at an angle to give you a little bit of a point. But all I'm going to do is alternate between these leather strips and some of my leftover pieces. So you guys remember we had these corrugated cardboard bricks. I'll do another one of these leather strips. I'll do one of these balls that we use, these wooden balls, and then I'll do another leather square. So you guys can see I'm creating all of these spots where I am going to be able to hide different food items. I am going to be able to hide anything really that my bird might be interested in. So you guys can see I want to do another leather strip there, then the birch piece, and actually that may be all I want to include in that one, but I'm going to go ahead and do one more leather strip. Now I'm just going to go ahead and tie off this knot. Now I know some of you are probably thinking that this is looking really, really similar to some of the toys that we have built before, and it probably is, but on this one we are going to increase the difficulty level. So I told you guys we were going to go ahead and save this box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off these flaps, because you guys will notice that the opening on the bottom of the box is really easy to use. So I am going to go ahead, I can put that leather strip aside. Always remember, any leftover parts, you want to save them. You can use those for another toy. But I'm going to just go ahead and thread this through the inside of the box. Once I have that all together, then you guys can see that the toy is now a lot more difficult for my bird to get to, which is sometimes what you want. You want to encourage. Either they would have to destroy this cardboard in order to get to it. They would have to manipulate things. You guys can see it does just barely stick out of the bottom. And if you wanted to, because we do have a significant amount of this stuff left, you can take some of your shredded paper, you can put it in between those leather pieces, and it will fit in there quite nicely. Or if you want to give your bird a fun opportunity to make all the mess in the world, you can go ahead and take all of this and just put it in there. And the toy hanging up will hold it into place, at least somewhat. But this is a really easy way to take a simple toy and just build onto that complexity level. That's the challenging thing about building parrot toys. You don't start with making the most ridiculously complex toys for your bird. Instead, you start with a simple toy and you can make it a little more complex and a little more complex. And eventually building that complexity gives you some really interesting toys that you can put together in a matter of minutes. So this is a really fun idea for a little more challenging toy for your bird. So I certainly hope you guys like this. If you like this, you want to make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. You want to subscribe to the Hi Redbird YouTube channel if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for the next day of the Avian Advent Calendar Challenge. I do need to say thank you to my Patreon patrons for helping to make these videos possible. You can find out more by visiting Hi Redbird on Patreon or clicking the link in the description section down below if you would like more information. Thanks!